Hey everyone, it's Rashida A. Marshall. Thank you so much for tuning back in. We are going to be going through some Pilates exercises today, talking a little bit more about the benefits of Pilates, which I've shared with you all in the past. But we're going to go a little bit deeper into it in terms of some moves that are great for just about anyone to put into their fitness regimen to improve spinal health. We have a special guest with us today who's going to be demonstrating these moves and kind of getting a firsthand feel as to how they are beneficial. So I'm going to give it to him, let him introduce himself to you all.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to be with you, Rashida.
Thank you.
My name is Uriah. I also go by Tori. I am the CEO and founder of LOJ Fit Club, which is a holistic health and fitness company. And we specialize in the 3M's, helping our clients learn more mindfulness through meditation, okay, movement through functional exercise, and then what we like to say mangoes, which is a representation of plant-based nutrition. Okay, understanding herb detoxification and plant-based foods. Okay, and so with that being said, we've been able to take our communities from sick and diseased to healthy and full of peace. So we're trying to reach all the four corners of the earth. So I'm excited to be learning about Pilates. I have never done Pilates before and don't know much about Pilates. So yes, Rashida, I do have a question based upon the Pilates aspect though. Being a Pilates instructor, etc., what have you found, or do you feel like when I think about Pilates, I think about like European descent women, I same type of demographic. I think about like bar exercise. For those of you who have heard of that, so you being not that stereotype, do you find that it's diverse or it's not diverse? Do you feel like you're trying to help it become more diverse? What do you feel based upon that?
So when I first started, I would definitely agree that I didn't see much diversity in terms of who was attending Pilates classes and teaching the classes and things like that. And I think it's something that's slowly changing. I know just from me immersing myself into it more, I've been able to connect with Black Pilates instructors, male and female, and seeing that it's a growing population of us who are recognizing the benefits of bringing this back to our communities and being able to encourage others to take classes, to get certified, to just expose how helpful it can be for health. So definitely have noticed that, but have been seeing it grow. And I hope that it's something that continues because I think we could all benefit from it. And I want more to recognize that it's not just for one population. It's not just for one group. We should, we could all take it and learn from it.
That's what's up. I love to be able to hear that and to be able to have, new things that we're doing. The other thing is as far as today, give us an overview of what we got today.
Yes. So today we're going to be going through about 6 exercises. And with these 6 movements, we're going to see how they put our spine, again, through those different ranges of motion. So we're going to have some exercises that have us in more of a forward flexion. We're going to work on some extension, some lateral flexion, going side to side, as well as rotation. And when we put our spine through these different ranges of motion, again, we help to keep it healthy, help to keep it fluid, keep it moving, and allow for us to move smoothly throughout our day-to-day activities. So just keeping that spinal health overall. We're going to get a little example of that today.
I keep hearing the word spine. I wonder why I don't see a lot of chiropractors connecting with Pilates instructors.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
It's growing.
Okay.
There have been more the benefits have become more widely known now that it's, I guess you could say, becoming more popular. Yeah. So chiropractors, physical therapists for sure, and even some doctors, depending on what your ailment may be, may recommend Pilates as a part of your health regimen. So it's definitely growing for that.
That makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. Ready?
Yeah, let's go. We're ready to go.
Further ado,
All right, so we are down on our mats. We are going to get started with these Pilates exercises. The first one that we're going to do is the 100. This is a very common Pilates move that is done in many Pilates classes, typically as a warm-up to get the core ready for what we're going to be doing. So it's called the 100 because you have 5 inhales, 5 exhales, and you do that 10 times. So it sounds like a lot, but it goes by really fast, so it's not anything crazy. So we're going to start first with a modified version, standard, and how you can advance the movement. So we would be down on our backs. Now with the modified version, we would keep our knees bent, feet flat on the ground. Our arms would be reaching long by the hips. You would curl up, head, neck, and shoulders, and you would stay here the whole time. Now I'm gonna have you inhale, I'm gonna have you start breathing as you inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you can see, he has that pump of the arms. You would keep doing that the whole way through. And again, you inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you would keep moving through this for your modified. If we want to take it into standard, you can lift those legs to tabletop. You keep them right here, but arms are still going in that same direction. And you still have the inhale for 5 and exhale for 5. You really want to engage the core because you have this tabletop position and gaze towards the belly button. So continue working the core here. And then to advance it, you can extend the legs out to 45. And the lower you go to the ground, the more of a challenge you have here. And so we'll do 2 more sets as we inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last inhale. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. We calm the arms, keep the legs out, curl up a little bit higher. And then you would exhale, release, draw the knees in, and rest the head, neck, and shoulders back down. So that would be our first one. How did that feel for you?
Awesome.
Okay.
I know you get a strong neck. My neck felt like I was going neck workout.
Yes. So another way that you can modify it too for those who are really new and may not have that strength is to keep the head down. And then as you continue practicing, you would want to try to lift the head and just work on building that strength so you're able to keep your neck lifted. That is a challenge that a lot of people encounter, but you can work through that over time.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. All right, that was our first one. Our second one is going to be a single leg stretch. So we're going back down onto our back. We are gonna draw the knees in towards the chest, and we're gonna bring our hands onto our left leg. All right, we're gonna have our right hand on the knee. Left hand is more at our ankle, so we just kind of have a grasp, and we're just cupping it right there over the top. Extend that opposite leg out long. Again, we're gonna work with our neck here, so we're gonna curl up head, neck, and shoulders, gazing towards the belly button. Now imagine it was a bow and arrow. That leg is reaching long to the opposite side of the room as you draw that knee in towards you, and then you would switch. Opposite leg comes in, and then you hold. And then you would switch and hold, and then again, you switch and reach. So you really wanna get that opposition from the knee to the leg. And then you can pick up the pace here as you take it in and out. And you would have a natural flow of your breath as you exhale and inhale and out. Let's do last 3 and 3, 2 and 2, 1 and 1. Then we rest, draw both the knees in, we rest the head back down, and you take a moment. So that's a part of our ab series. We're not doing the whole ab series today, but that is the first one of a sequence of 5 exercises. How'd that feel for you?
Cool.
That's good.
Neck getting stronger.
Yeah. Definitely a lot of moves like that. With the ab series, again, a lot of lifting head, neck, and shoulders, gazing at the belly button, and working on that strength there. So that's the second one that we are going through. Our third one is going to be a crisscross. This is the 5th exercise of the ab series. A lot of times when we do this one, we think of just bicycle crunches. It's very similar, but with this one, you are working from more of the deeper abs to bring you into that twist. Instead of bringing your elbow to your knee, you want to think of your rib cage coming to your knee and keeping wide elbow to elbow. So we'll see that as we go through it. All right, neck is going to be lifted again, but we'll have a little more support this time. So let's go ahead and take it back down onto the mat. Now, from here, let's bring the hands behind the neck, palm stacked over palm. And again, elbows are wide. Naturally, we like to curl in and bring the elbows together. We want to try to keep that wide position in here. We're lifting the legs to tabletop. Now, we're going to extend our right leg long as we twist to our left. Again, think of bringing your armpits or your rib cage towards the knee. Come back to tabletop and pause. And then you twist over in the opposite direction. Good. Bring it back to center and hold. And then we twist and reach. Bring it in and hold and twist. So we're gonna keep going through this. And then what you notice is as you go through it, your core is consistently working because you're in that lift, legs are in tabletop, and you're working from your transverse abdominals. Let's go ahead and do one more as we twist and bring it in. Last one over to our left. And we pause and we rest and draw the knees in. And we just hold it. So again, crisscross from our ab series. That would be the last one of that set of 5.
Got it.
All right, we're gonna bring it up from there. Wait, pause. We're just gonna use this just to get out of that position, and then we're gonna bring it around and take it into some hip bridges. So a little different, we'll be pressing the hips up this time. We'll be back down, we're working on lifting the hips off the mat. It's great for the glutes, the hamstrings, and also stabilizing the spine. It's really good there. So let's go ahead and bring it on back before we flip over onto our belly. So feet are staying flat here, arms are just gonna be by our hips. And we're gonna inhale. As we inhale, think of curling the spine off the mat. You wanna kind of tuck the hips and curl and lift all the way up. And then as you're here, naturally, sometimes your knees wanna flare out. You wanna try and engage inner thighs, keep the legs in that position. And then you round the hips down with control, one vertebrae at a time, and you settle into the mat. And again, we curl as we inhale and lift, press up. Exhale as we round down with control and bring it down. Let's do 2 more like that. Inhale, lift, and press, and exhale, lower. Now, last one, we're gonna hold it at the top. Inhale, lift here. So if you wanna add some variety or difficulty, we could draw one knee in, keeping the knee bent. As you draw it in towards you, float it back down to the mat. And then we switch as you control that leg in and lower. Let's do 1 more each side. Trying not to let the thigh collapse in towards your chest. Last one. And then we lower down, again, curl the hips back down onto the mat with control. And then you settle in here and pause. And you can just take a little windshield wiper as the knees fall from side to side, just to release the lower back. How'd that one feel for you?
That was good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorites. All right, we are gonna roll over onto our belly, almost onto our side. So from there, let's extend the legs out long, and we're just gonna flip over. Just go flip flop. All right, so we are on our bellies, and we are going to take it into swan or swan variation. So with this one, we will want to start with the hands by our rib cage and try not to let the elbows flare out too much. You want to keep them hugged in tight. Feet are active, or lower body is active, and all 10 toes press into the mat. So from here, we're gonna hover the palms slightly over the mat. Inhale as you lift. Exhale, you're gonna press the palms down, lift a little higher, and then we exhale and melt all the way down. Again, we lift the palms as we inhale, press as you extend a little higher, and melt back on that exhale. Let's do 2 more as we lift. Press the palms down, and exhale, lower. Here's our final one here. Press, lift the chest, and exhale, and lower down. So how'd that feel for you?
That one felt good.
Yeah.
You got that ab stretch, like what do you call it? Upward facing dog.
From yoga. So very similar. And with this, a lot of times when we do it, naturally we might want to go into our lower back. So when you take the stretch, you want to also think of lengthening from your middle and upper back as well to get you up off the mat. That's a good way to think about it. All right, last one, we're now going to work on some lateral flexion. So I'm going to have us press back from here into a quick child's pose, just to give us a quick stretch. And then we're going to take it into a kneeling side bend from here. So we're going to lift all the way back up. From here, one palm is down in center, and then one knee is down. Can you see? And then we are holding ourselves up. So the key is to think of your hip is stacked over your knee, and then your shoulder is stacked over your wrist. So you have a good stance here. All right, so now once we're here, we're gonna extend that top arm up over this, up towards the ceiling. This is one version of it. You can lift that leg up and work on balance. I like to flex the ankle and really think of energy shooting out from the heel of your foot to help stabilize you. So this is one way to add a challenge to it. You can bring that leg down. We're gonna slide our bottom leg out and come into a full side bend or side peak that many of us know this move as. So the key here is to work from the obliques on the opposite side to really press and keep you lifted. And you wanna keep your chest open to the front, try not to rotate in. You wanna stay lifted and open. And then if we wanna add an additional challenge, we could lower that hip down to the mat and then press as we lift. Again, we would lower down and exhale up. Let's do 2 more as we lower for 2 and lift. Last one and press. And after that, you can slide the knee down, come all the way into a seated position, and then you can come into a nice stretch where you take that arm up and over and you stretch out the side body from there. This is mermaid as well, so a really great stretch for the side of the body. And we bring it down, and we are done. How'd you feel?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think with Pilates, what I've seen so far,
Mhm.
one of the things you told me,
Mhm.
really engages the core. So you have a very strong core, but it also has some flexibility aspect. So Pilates is almost like a mixture between functional exercise and yoga.
In a sense, you could look at it that way, yeah. A little different because with yoga you have a lot of poses, whereas with Pilates it's more of a flow. So if you take a Pilates class, you're going to see that it's a constant flow from move to move, and you're not necessarily stopping and holding a pose for an extended period of time. But definitely a lot of body control, working with the breath, a lot of aspects that you also see in a yoga class.
Okay. So if you had to pick one demographic of people,
Mm-hmm.
not based upon just, not based on like any certain factors, but who would you say Pilates would serve better and more, and why?
Man, it's hard to choose one group. It benefits a lot of people. I would say, and I might be biased because I enjoy working with this population, but I would say prenatal postpartum. I would say that because there's a lot of Pilates movements that can be very gentle and can help us to reconnect with our core, especially the deeper muscles of the core, as well as connecting to our pelvic floor. There's a lot of ways to combine that with the breathing and just gentle movements and things like that. And during pregnancy and even afterwards, a lot of that connection is often lost, and many women aren't able to, find that time to focus on reconnecting there. You might want to get back into the typical exercises, and we forget we have to start with the foundational moves first. So I would say that it can be very beneficial for that population if you're working with someone who knows exactly what you need during that chapter in your life. That's what I would say.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Where can people find you?
So I have a lot of videos on my website, which is RashidaAMarshall.com. I also have a YouTube channel, same thing, Rashida A. Marshall, and my Instagram as well, Rashida A. Marshall. So it should be pretty easy to find on one of those platforms.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you can find us at LOJ, okay, LOJ Fit Club. That's on Instagram, YouTube, LOJFitClub.com. We appreciate you for joining us today, and we'll be making some more content soon together.
Thank you all.